for joining the Travel Tech Pitch Night. Today will be rather a small event. Because we have only one startup this evening, but I'm really happy that you could join. So today I'm super happy to welcome Palma coliving with Mathieu Zeilas, who is the co-founder, and Palma coliving is a premium seaside coliving brand operating at the verge of hybrid hospitality, real estate, and tourism. So, hi, Mathieu, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I'm happy to have you. Great. So, yeah, my name is Mathilde Vadillo. I'm working at the Startup Club, and where I host pitch nights and investment conferences on fashion, beauty, green tech, and recently also travel. And so I'm very happy to have you here, and I can say a few words about the Startup Club, and then I will ask the board members to shortly introduce themselves. So so the Startup Club, for those who don't know yet, we are a one-stop shop for the global entrepreneur community. And our vision is to assist businesses in their capital structuring and growth, and by connecting entrepreneurs with investors, advisors, mentors, and other key players in the startup ecosystem. And we have an international team, and we are active in different industries. We have pitch nights in green tech, in fintech, food tech, also ed tech, and the ones I mentioned before. And so if you're interested to join any future events, I recommend to check our page, and also you can reach out to me or anyone from the team to get a free pass for investors. So welcome to come to more events. So at the Startup Club we had over 50 successful events last year, and yes, we are looking forward to be active in even more industries in the coming months. So that was briefly like the introduction to Startup Club, and now I would like to give the word to the board members. Would you like to start to introduce yourself? Rafael, Catalán, Vadillo from Bigspace Investments. Hi.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Mathilde. I'm Rafael. I'm the investment analyst here in Bigspace Investment. We're basically a small firm based out of Cyprus in Limassol. And we are early stage focused, so mostly like pre-seed to seed is, I guess, our sweet spot, with tickets up to $500,000. But also it depends, obviously, the opportunity. And we're trying to create value to our founders, apart from the capital, by giving introductions and finding synergies with portfolio companies or some other partners.
Great, thank you so much. And where are you based?
In Limassol, in Cyprus. I'm actually in the office, so I guess I'm the only one in the office, as I can see.
Nice, great. Thank you so much for the intro. And now I would like to ask Alice Tealdi from Volution.
Yes. Hi, guys. So I work for Volution. We are a UK B2B SaaS and fintech fund. We were created about 1.5 years ago or so. We've already done about 12 investments. We've got 2 exits, so quite well. So we invest in a very specific space of the market because we invest post Series A, pre Series B, so sort of like bridging rounds. So it's for those companies that post Series A are not quite there yet. So we would help them either to expand in other countries if that's what they want, or just really to get those strong KPIs to manage to raise a Series B round. So as I said, we're UK based. I'm in London at home at the minute. And that's what we do. I'm excited to meet you all and to listen to the speech. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Alice. And the third board member is Oriol Núñez. Hi, Oriol. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. My name is Oriol, and I'm working as a venture analyst for Plug and Play Tech Center. We are a very global, we act as a very global fund investing everywhere in the world, and we're mainly focused on early stage, I'd say between pre-seed and Series A mainly. We are a very innovative fund in a way that we usually invest in very disruptive companies. And well, yeah, me myself, I'm working for the travel and smart cities vertical because we are, as I said, very big and we're very diversified. And well, I'm here and happy to meet you all.
Thank you so much. Great. All right, and Mathieu, would you like to maybe first introduce yourself and then we can move to your pitch?
Yes, thank you.
We have time.
Great. Nice. Thank you, Mathilde. Nice to meet you, everyone. Oriol, Rafael, Alice. There is also Damien. I don't know. Damien is in your team, Mathilde.
Yes, Damien, would you like to join us? Would you like to introduce yourself as well? Damien? He's on mute, I think. Oh, okay. No, let's not. We'll see if Damien listens to us later on. Doesn't matter. Okay, you can go ahead.
All right. So yes, so we are early stage startup. We are looking for a fund at the moment to accelerate our growth, and I can show you a bit the deck. I have a small presentation, and we can review it together. And what else can I do? I can just maybe introduce myself personally first. And basically, I did study MBA in hospitality and luxury brands management. I did some opening of hotel in different parts of the world, and the management, marketing, communication, and it could be also a bit of sales. I also started my first company in Paris within Station F. And I had the first fashion tech company basically during 3 years. It didn't work so much, but it taught me so much. And after the first failure, I became a freelancer as a project manager for the digital project. I was helping startup to accelerate. So I was inside Accelerator myself as a coordinator, project manager, helping some startup to build their MVP, up to helping some project for digital transformation, some group. So I was a full-time freelancer. And I started to look for another approach of lifestyle, let's say, as a freelancer working remotely from the sun and the sea and meeting like-minded people. And so you call them the digital nomads. You can work remotely and you go abroad while you are looking for like-minded people. And in that way, when you arrive in a city, you don't know no one. Then you are looking for co-working space or co-living space. And here you have a full community of entrepreneurs, a freelancer, which is amazing, so that you can just meet new people, create new projects and whatever. So I did that for a little while, and then I starting from Barcelona. But I came closely to the co-living and co-working space because I decided to allocate more time to my all alignments and mixing the hospitality, the real estate, and the startup. Co-living made a lot of sense for me. And knowing this, I started to help a consulting agency to advise hotels to open co-working space in order to target new generation of customers. And finally, I was helping co-living real estate developers to start their own co-living. So with all this experience, this background, then I decided to run my own co-living and start my own brand, which could be different from the others. And I started in Mallorca and looking now to develop in multiple locations.
Great intro. Now maybe you can want to go through your slides. Yeah.
Yes. Do you have any question before to start, Alice, Rafael, Oriol, Damien?
No, everything was clear for me. I mean, it was quite fascinating how you sort of went through it. It just sounded like it was. I mean, it's been a great story so far. So looking to hear more from you. Thanks.
Thank you.
I got two questions. First, it's what year did you have your first contact with this? With what year was your first co-living experience? Let's say that you mentioned.
So as a guest, as a client, my first one was in 2019.
Right.
So when I came in Spain to be a freelancer, and then I tried my first co-living.
All right. And second is just like if you speak Spanish or not, since you started the business in Spain, but
yes, and I love to speak Spanish.
All right, that's great. That's great. We'll
because
talk
you
later,
speak Spanish, yes.
Yeah.
Of course. All right. Yes,
Yeah,
actually, during my MBA, I had the opportunity to work abroad, and this is where I did one of the first opening of an apart hotel. So, and I choose to be in Latin countries to also learn Spanish. So this was like 2015 when I finished my MBA, and I was in Dominican Republic, and this is probably one of the things who lead me to Spain after all, because I was looking for kind of good vibes similar to a country or Latin country, and Spain it was perfect for that.
All right, great.
Yes, and I'm not the only one. There is billions of people looking for the same. So this is what I'm going to show you now. All right, so let me share my screen. So I'm going to show you a quick video basically to understand what we do, what is our product basically. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Yeah.
All right, thank you for listening. And I'm going to share my screen. So yes, today we are looking for $500,000 for the seed investment to start with. We already, the good news is we already secured half of it at the moment. It has been 3 months. We were running the fundraising. We're looking for a minimum investment of 50,000, and the current valuation is €2 million. So yes, we are a premium seaside co-living brand. We provide an exclusive stay for a selected remote worker community. And about that, the market is huge. So a lot of analysis and studies said that 1 billion digital nomads will be there by 2035. Actually, quite easy to say since COVID happened and so many people became remote workers. So a lot of numbers said that it will increase. The biggest company, as a fact, like Microsoft, Twitter, Salesforce, Spotify, announced to adapt the remote work contract. Millennials and the new generation are looking for remote job suggestion option, and so it increased so much that actually once after the COVID, it just boomed. And this is what, when we arrived on the market, same for us, we became digital nomads with Hugo and I, so we are the 2 co-founders. And the goal for us is to find a nice place to live, work, and grow with everyone. So we started to open the first place in Mallorca, and then we expanded to 2 new places in Spain, Valencia and Tenerife. And some ambition for us is to become a co-living group, extending up to 30 locations for the next 5 years. And basically, today, the remote workers, what do they need? They need a nice place to work with. They don't want any engagement because they don't know how long they will stay usually. They don't want any fees about that. They want to move in ready, but they also want social integration, meeting like-minded people, quite at the opposite of the Airbnb style or the hotel style. And especially when you're looking for the same community. And of course, most of the remote workers who travel, they're looking for the sun to escape a bit from also the winter, or if it's during the summer, they want to just find new location and explore a bit more. So what do we provide, and what is the unique selling point as Palma coliving? We are focused on the premium seaside properties. Attractive cities doesn't mean a big city, but at least with 1 million tourism per year, so that we can have a nice occupancy rate all over the year, but also from 10 to 25 bedrooms buildings. Usually we ask me 1 month minimum stay, which allow us to create meaningful connection. Everyone become like a family and they don't know each other, much better than a smaller and faster experience that you can find in some other co-living or other who provide long experience, but without the events that we provide. Indeed, we do provide some events such as a community session. We just introduce each others. We share some intention, some goal. We plan the week together, but you can also find some yoga and meditation made by a happiness officer, which is a manager inside each Palma co-living to facilitate the connection, the onboarding, and the event for everyone. And additionally, we do also some cooking dinners during the monthly stay. And yes, so it's more than a place to work. It's also a place to meet nice people and enjoy. It's kind of a retreat for 1 month, but let's say it's a good balance for everyone who wants to join. So it's not only about the digital nomads community. So true digital nomads themselves, they are traveling the whole world all the time. And from a co-living to a co-living they are used to. So we are already in a niche, and it was already working before the COVID, but now the remote workers, all of them also are looking for a bit of pause or sometimes work and mix of holiday mix, and they come to Palma co-living. So basically, besides this, we also ask everyone to apply on the website. So we ask a few more information, we collect some more data to ask them about themselves, why they would like to join, and then we run an interview with everyone who want to join us. So we select people. It leads us to have a waiting list because then this is from word to mouth, plus everyone coming directly by an interview. It's also some excitement because we are not accepting everyone. We want to be selective for the like-minded people who work, no family, and the one who are coming also not only for holidays, but for work and looking for sharing some event and community vibe. And to finish about the USP that we have, we also integrated some eco-responsible values. Inside every house, we limit the plastic use, we recycle, we can collaborate with association, allow us to having some, for example, fresh fruit every week from local producers, and also some beach cleanup and some things like that we like to provide inside the DNA. And so what did we achieve basically last year? We could have opened 3 locations, 3 properties. So one or the 3 months, basically. Average size 500 square meters. We have been to a 90% occupancy rate, turnover 150,000 euro. A net margin per co-living is from 20 to 25%. And basically, average stay will allow us to have like 1,700 euro per customer for the monthly stay. And yes, we had basically everyone coming from all over the world, coming in Palma co-living. We have been in multiple national TV, press release. And every time we open a co-living in a city, it's not only about housing, working, and like a small family, it's also thinking about the city itself. And we like to create a Telegram group to support and connect all the digital nomads from the city it just allows us to run, thanks to the happiness officer, digital nomad event all the Tuesday in every city. And then step by step, a lot of people are talking about us and the event we do to connect and support the digital nomad community. It's also a plus for the communication. And at the end, thanks to the waiting list, basically last year, 100 customers came. This year, we had 150 customers requests per month, which is crazy. And that is why also we need to accelerate. And this side was important because step by step, actually, we could grow thanks to the different location. And we know that opening more location also create more retention. People came from Valencia, then to Mallorca, to Tenerife, or they extended the stay, or they are coming later. And this is amazing to see this connection, and people who like the brand itself compared to other co-living. We really made a difference from what they said. And we have wonderful review, and whatever I mean is thanks to this, we started a membership. 200 euro per year, small membership fee, allowing you to basically have discount all over the location, but also some perks, but also some online content, some members chat, so alumni club member basically. And based on this, half of the customers now, they are booking the membership, creating retention revenues. This can be easily transformed inside a mobile app. This is things that we are currently working on. We are working on the spec because we want to create some brand awareness / special program for customers, customer retention membership that we could create. So yes, this was about what we had, and then the reasons to invest. Of course, after COVID, there is a boom of the digital nomad in the world. Co-living are booming everywhere, every style. That is why we also made our own difference. But truly, the number of requests we receive are insane, and today we need to accelerate to multiple properties. And we have this strong USP, and we have these impactful values. Hugo and I, we also have the proven experience plus background in hospitality / digital, allowing us to run efficiently today. And the occupancy rate is always good. And we have found the break-even once we have the multiple location, and we would like, yes, to move forward maybe to some more tech to create the added value related to the membership and what I mentioned. But today the goal is to accelerate towards 10 properties for the next 24 months, and for that reason we will need some funds. And we are looking for partners that can help us to achieve what we are looking for on the skills level or simply on the property real estate level. Today it's a seed investment round, and tomorrow it will be a Series A in 2 years. That is a goal for us. But we need first to execute and keep working with what we know the best, meaning renting the property at this stage and expanding the community, which expands the brand awareness and valuation of the company, while we can build some tech, allowing us also to build more assets until finally, if we follow the best practice of the current co-living brands that raise millions, and for example, colonies that raised 1 billion last weeks, then basically in 2 years, if everything goes well, if we have run these properties and open once all the 3-4 months with proper people following us, and we know who do we need, and we know which cash we need to put and where to put it, because we have run the best practice since 2 years, then we could open these 10 properties. And at this moment, maybe think about opening potentially a real estate fund, which will be the main acquisition car for Palma co-living brand. And at this stage, we may have a nice ambition and potential to expand globally with real estate fund with ourselves, allowing us to find a balance for our assets. Thank you for listening this first part.
Thank you so much, Mathieu. Okay, so now we can move to the feedback part. So who would like to start? Alice, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect. I guess my first question is regarding the total addressable market, because you're saying that by 2035, there will be 1 billion digital nomads, but what does that look like right now? Just because I'm conscious that, first of all, it's a very niche market, although it's very interesting, don't get me wrong. I'm just sort of conscious about the execution bit and how many customers you can actually get. That's my first question.
Thanks for asking, Alice. Basically, regarding today, if you take the COVID time, basically so many big companies already started to adopt the remote work contract, and today most of the people are already working remotely. So the niche actually extended to so much people, and everyone could be a digital nomad from the base that once you work remotely, you could maybe travel at the same time, going from a place to another. So the markets just expand crazy since the COVID. So today, what we know by as a proof is 150 requests per month to join us, compared to last year where we are just a couple of requests, for example, and then of course all the TV and the media following us because it's a nice subject during the COVID, and additionally, once you are inside the niche of the digital nomads, not necessarily the remote workers like employees, once you are touching also this base, this small niche, and it expands organically. We have like a 7 bedrooms villa in Mallorca to start with, and now we have 11 bedrooms. And so every time we go somewhere, we can see it from our own eyes, from the digital nomad Telegram group. It is expanding in every city. In Valencia, we have 2,500 people following us, and there is more people coming every week, every day. In the Telegram of Tenerife, Mallorca is the same. We accumulate thousands of people. So we can see the number of digital nomads coming more often. We can see the leads, inquiries coming crazy. And additionally, you can see the number of coliving popping up, the number of companies announcing that they say, okay, for half of the customer and the people, or half of the workers, we say, okay, for the remote work. And inside the contract, you can find there is 1 month or 2 months where you could work outside of the city or the country, unless they change your salary. You know, this is the main reason.
Yeah. Okay. No, I understand. So there's not really. It's hard to tell. I understand what you're saying. So my next question, sort of, you were touching on, just sort of getting more traction. Sort of, I guess I'm understanding word to mouth. I guess my question is more regarding your customer acquisition. So do you have like sort of some data that shows how many of your customers rather see you through your marketing, like online, or rather through some people who have stayed in your properties? Do you have some overview showing what channel is the more lucrative for you, I guess?
Yes, definitely. I actually just show you the small presentation. I have the complete one just here. If you want, I can share this slide about the customers and the channel.
Oh, maybe. Then I'll have it. Then I'll find it. That's fine. Sorry, you want to say something else?
Yes, I can share some data about this. Actually, it's interesting. This last year, based on the client type, 33 years old. So they stay 1.2 months. Most of them are coming from the organic search, so from Palma coliving directly, so word to mouth. And this is last year, so we could compare step by step, maybe in a few months, what is it about from this year, to see the evolution that we don't have, except the month-to-month one that I could share for you. And the direct one, so will be directly on the website, socially, mainly Instagram and Facebook, basically. So we need a lot of content for sure, and the villa, the people, the event, it's perfect. So that's why we have a happiness officer. And the paid search coming from the keywords like Google ads. We also try some Facebook ads, and yes, this is some numbers that we could grow for sure. But the thing is, with a small villa, like 10 to 12 to 20 bedrooms, the fact we ask you to apply, then you will be on the waiting list. And, we have a lot of, let's say, success that allow us to fulfill the villa and the house easily, especially knowing the digital nomads are very flexible. They could come or go the next month or in 2 months. So they're waiting for the next seats and they take it. So that's the advantage that we have. In that way, we didn't spend much inside the ads until we get the second or third property. And that led us to know a bit more about the customers and everything.
No, that makes sense. That's perfect. Thanks. And I guess my question is, I saw that your average stay is something like 1.2, 1.4 months. I don't remember. So yes. I guess my question is, what could you do to improve that number, or why is it? I understand they're digital nomads, but at the same time, I guess then my question would be, are you planning? Do you want to improve that, just to improve sort of your customer acquisition cost / LTV ratio, those sort of things?
Yes, definitely. So for instance, we cannot leverage so much on the price right now, except during the winter and the summer and from a year to another. For sure, this is what we already do since last year and it works well. But last thing is today, with the villa in Mallorca, we have a management contract where we split the expenses and revenues with the owner, so that it allows us at the beginning to limit the risk. But in that way, we cannot really get a super high margin. This one, we have 20% net margin. So it's a 25% management base fees. And we collect all the revenues, but still there is something missing. We believe with the fundraising, by having some higher risk, so rental contract, we could also play with a higher margin, and that way probably also higher price. The thing we have done so far, we benchmark all the competitors in every city before we enter. Like I'm used to do that. I did that as a consultant before for the different competitors on the coliving. And once we do that, we know a bit the price, and we are usually a bit higher than the others by the premium style. But it's also a risk to be too high because the co-living itself, it's also sharing rents on the base. So we do have this 33-year-old owner, founders, consultant from LVMH, startup, Facebook, Meta, Spotify, whatever. But still, we believe that by being too luxury or too high, maybe it could not be the right fit unless having the proper villa for that. So we decided for the next 2 years to be focused for the profitability, but also for the experience. So for that way, we decided to slightly move from 10 to 25 bedroom maximum building. And that way we could reach 100,000 euro EBITDA per co-living to reach 1 million in 2 years, basically. This is the ambition that we have. But the thing is, in some markets, we may not find some building or whatever. And in that way, we could address the villa market as we are used to. And the villa can be also small townhouse, so small building, but it can be also more luxury usually. So that will be always our signature with a higher price, while we will have the 20 bedrooms for more profitability, but not necessarily higher price. So
yeah. And just so it's clear, those, let's say 20, 25 bedrooms, they have one kitchen, one, like how is normally, how does it work? Just because, you know, I'm thinking like, it's not the same, I understand, but you know, when you live with a lot of people in the same house, can be a bit crowded, I guess.
Yes, for the buildings, it works in different zones, basically. You could have different group, like 2, 3, 4 floors and 4 group different. So in every floor, you can have a kitchen or living room, or you can have 2 kitchen and 2 living room. And this is the space optimization side that we do with an architect every time we come in a house. We have our own design, own full kit, and also we can review the space optimization so that we are not crowded and we have enough space dedicated for some action. So that is how we could optimize everything.
Makes sense.
We have some target group and we have some criteria. That is why it's important to be connected with the real estate markets, brokers, every city, but it's also good to follow the best practice also from a big company, co-living company. And that way, the real estate fund I told you about could be another option, like a real estate partner that will secure a specific amount of real estate property for you. That way you could operate fastly in some cities.
Yeah, no, I mean, it probably wouldn't increase your margins, but it would definitely increase your reach. Absolutely. And I guess my last question, then I'm going to leave the floor to the others, is in terms of competition. So I saw you had a slide. I guess I just wanted to sort of, you know, you walking me through, I guess, what, you know, makes you better than your competitors, I guess.
Yes, so that's the USP. The USP is exactly what we do different than the competitors. We do really focus on the premium style, and this is let's say the disruptive points that we have mainly, because there is no much premium style brand today in the area. And the fact we do select the community, we do run some specific event experience, and we believe that we could create this nice co-living group, could change a lot of things. But today, the customers already notice the difference compared to many co-living. If you look for the review and everything, we have the time to do the right thing for a co-living brand, but we need to be focused on the quality side. That is the added value.
Okay, so the other co-living space, I'm just not 100% familiar with those, I guess. The other co-living spaces don't offer all those events, those sort of extra perks, I guess.
There is so many styles. For example, you have some co-living space that are focused on short-term stay, more hotel, but for the remote workers. So you won't really find the experience. You will find the common area, some temporary event on the way, spontaneous. But you also have the long-term stay. So it's more like a shared flat. You don't have necessarily the co-working space or whatever. And some proper co-living, let's say, with a co-working space, a shared area may have some events. But this co-living space could be for a bit everyone, without selection, without conscious values, and some specific events that we run, you cannot find them in some different co-living. It's really depends. We do like a kind of a package of the full experience, mixing different things, and that is what the people love to our place.
Okay, great, thanks. I mean, I have other questions, but I'm gonna leave it to the others, and if there's time, I'll get back to you. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alice. Rafael, would you like to be next?
All right, thank you. Yes. Thank you for actually stop with the next question, Alice, because I was run out of questions basically. A couple of those I actually would have asked myself, but that's fine. So yeah, actually, since the last thing that you mentioned is about the competition, a little bit towards that. So also in terms of your USP, I can see that basically you're trying to differentiate yourself by like coming across as a premium brand. So how do you offer that premium value to your client? Is it the interior of the buildings that you have, or is it the location? Because since you mentioned real estate, right? You know, it's about location, location, location. So
Yes.
I would like to, if you can clarify that.
Yes, it's about all of them actually. The real estate location, for example, we are looking for a nice place next to the main entertainment location, like restaurants, bar, whatever, next to the sea. We are looking for a 10-bedroom in average property, and this what we have inside is a premium style, definitely. So the villa style. And we have the premium exterior spaces like terrace, swimming pool, or rooftop. This is what we can define as a premium style compared to other property. And for the location and seaside, this is the focus. And you can find, let's say, the package of experience that we have allow you to have a premium experience.
Okay, so will that actually be, will you consider that also like a limiting factor in terms of there are so many houses and maybe or buildings that actually match the criteria you're going after? And also second question is, if you actually find a building like that, but the interior of the building it doesn't meet the conditions that you require, like will you have to, do some modifications, reforms, and how much would that cost?
Yes, so we actually saw that on the way, and it's very interesting. We could move quite fast in the market when it's ready to move house, right? With the equipment and everything. In that way, the Kickstarter expenses are mainly the deposits, the agency fees, a couple of co-working equipment and decoration for the brand, the space optimization that I mentioned earlier. And the second way, we also had some owners or investors that showcase some properties, that were looking for some properties. And basically with the plan, they were happy to review the design, that they could then have a budget for the renovation and the equipment. So it's part of the negotiations that we could have a nice property ready to move after a small renovation. In that way, we could work with the owner to define what we need for minimum contract 5 years, renewable. And so that's the perfect thing for the space optimization, allocation, and revenues. That are the two proposals that we had so far. In between, if there is anything that cannot match our criteria, then we will move and we will find another way.
And what's the current average contract duration?
5 years. This is the goal. We started from 1 year, and now we are just on 5 years minimum term.
So all the current portfolio that you own, all of them are under 5-year contract?
Yeah, today we have the active properties Mallorca, so 11 bedrooms. We have a 5-year contract. Okay. The one in Valencia, we had a small luxury boutique hotel style, and we had so many requests that we needed to extend. So we should open in 1 to 2 months the new property for 13 bedrooms, and it's 5-year contract, same. And then in Tenerife, what we learned is leading to the things that I mentioned earlier, is we had an independent owner working with us, and she's Russian also, so she had some issues with the war at the same time. So we had some issue with the contract, and we had to move to find another deal. So now we are looking for the deal. But what we know is from this experience, it's always good to maybe find investors or property investors, the one who know what they do, and so that they can just be focused on the revenues with an operator like us.
Okay. Guess I'm gonna give way to Oriol. I don't know if you probably have any questions. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Rafael.
Thanks, Alice and Rafael, for your questions. You've already answered a lot of mine, so great. First of all, I wanted to congratulate Palma coliving, sorry, because I think that you're already quite brave to start a business. So congrats on that, and it's good to hear that you're doing well. So congrats again. And from my side, like, I think that the market's there, like the opportunity is there. Remote working is growing every day. So looking for new possibilities on living, I think like there's an opportunity. But from my side, like my main worries are for all the operations required for opening new places. Because as Rafael said, the majority of the buildings or villas may need a renovation. As you were saying, you're focusing on a premium segment, so I think that properties need to match the brand. So that's something that I worry a little bit about. And one of my questions, I'd say, is well, I took a look on your deck yesterday, and your plans is to have 10 properties with an average of 25 rooms per property at the end of 2024, I'd say, so the next maybe 24 months. And properties having 25 rooms, I'd say, are quite big, not usually villas, because there's not many villas available with 25 rooms. So that would translate into having mainly buildings, not villas. And well, approaching buildings, I think that there's a lot of competition there and a lot of other people in that space with co-living spaces. And I'm just saying that because I've recently moved to Valencia. So just to let you know, I was looking for a place to live as well. And I found quite a lot of co-living and similar options in Valencia that I can share with you. But I think that the space and the market is quite crowded, and mainly differentiation could come through branding. And from my point of view, well, it's quite complicated to grow a business only relying on a brand. But apart from that, well, I think that obviously there's an opportunity, and that you guys are doing well at the moment. I don't know if the type of business that you're approaching is the one that's invested by venture capital. I think there's not many entry barriers at a co-living model, and that's mainly or mainly what we do at Plug and Play, looking for huge entry barriers when we invest in companies. So I have a bit of worry with some things, you know, from the operational side, branding and entry barriers. But I think that if you maybe approach other type of investors, or you probably focus on debt, maybe debt could be a great option for you. Venture debt even could work as well. And also what I would also do is focusing on maybe acquiring the places where you're going to establish your co-livings, rather than renting or having shared expenses and revenues with the owners, because you will be, well, you won't have the 5 years or the terms that you were talking about, which are quite worrying from the investor part, I guess, because we could have the possibility of you know, an end of a contract and not a renewal. So losing business without much of a, I'd say, without much of a notice. So I would try to acquire the places and also build a great real estate portfolio there, and be more secure about all that stuff. Anyways, I may be wrong, or I'm probably not wrong. I'm not an expert at all, but that's what I'm thinking. And yeah, I don't know if you, Alice, I think that you said that you had more questions, so go for that.
No, I mean, I actually really, I think what you said is absolutely right about the venture debt piece. I think that's something that, especially if you're considering buying the properties, is something that you would have to consider, just because it's way easier as well. But at the same time, acquiring right now is just it's not the best moment to acquire, in terms of it's sort of like a bubble, and on top of that, you can just mortgage things and those sort of like things. But I definitely agree in terms of the debt piece. I think that will be, in terms of your cash flow, is just the safest option for you guys. Even if you don't decide to buy the properties right now, I think that's just sort of the easiest options for you for your expansions, because it's very asset heavy. Like, it's a very asset heavy business model, right? But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, though I had a couple of other questions. I think one that I wanted to say was actually regarding exactly what you said about acquiring the properties, because I think I saw in your deck you were actually saying that you wanted to acquire some properties, if I read correctly.
Yes.
Right. So I just wanted to, in terms of whatever we have like discussed now, what we had said, I guess I wanted to get a comment from you, what your thoughts were there.
Yes, so basically coming from multiple people in the industry, in the real estate, it looks that today we should focus on the operator side, scaling faster to build faster community, maybe less focus on the occupancy rate, but more focus on how we could build a community in every city. And later, acquiring the properties. It takes time, as you know. Sometimes it can take 1 year, 2 years to find the right property, but creating the community for us takes 1 month. So for that purpose, if we could accelerate largely the number of requests, customers, word-to-mouth awareness, it will be perfect for the valuation. Doesn't need to be the perfect property, but maybe the day after a couple of years, we could find the right things that we couldn't find before to have the perfect co-living for acquiring. But this is not what we know to do to deal with. So we will need another team, some experts. It will require another organization. And today, indeed, like you said, Alice, it's not maybe the right timing for doing so. So let's accelerate. We need the rental, the rental cost. But this is how we grow the brand. And in 2 years, we could think about how we could create a large real estate fund. And that would be amazing.
That's great. No, that's absolutely great. I think I just have one more question that's more about the membership you talked about. I guess my question is, I'm curious to know the people who've stayed in your properties, how many of them have actually purchased this membership, and how many of, I mean, it's quite new, so I'm sure you cannot really tell me how long they bought it for, how many years, but, of the ones that stayed so far, what's the percentage of them that has decided to get this membership?
Yes, it's not easy because it's been new. No? Just last September we started, so we cannot give you the years.
Oh, okay, like 1 month ago. Okay, never mind.
September 1 last year ago, actually.
Oh, okay.
So fine. I can tell you only since this time, half of the customers in the co-living, they book it. So in 11 bedrooms, we have 10 bedrooms sold because one is for the happiness officer. And so we have 5 customers per month taking the membership for the year. So yes, that is the numbers today. So 1,000 euro additional revenue per month for the membership, and it leads us for them. We can see them coming from a location to another, which is quite cool. Seeing them in different cities because they also have the membership. So more we start some location and more we have some added value in the membership and giving you some freedom to be in different co-livings that you like.
Yeah, absolutely. And sorry, just last question. I forgot. Yes, about the seasonality. So what's the seasonality in, if any? I guess, I mean, I would assume, you know, in the summer it's less busy, but, you know, is there, I don't know, some interesting trends to see there?
In the winter, yes, because summer is super busy like always, but in the winter is like maybe the occupancy could be lower, but the digital nomads and the remote workers said they don't sleep during the winter, so they are coming to us in all the cases. You just need a bit of booster in different city regarding the marketing. So we have many tricks to attract people because so many people doesn't know about us. So yes, we have a marketing leverage on the winter when we need, so that we keep this 90% occupancy rates that we have in average in a year. And yes, so this is the only thing. The occupancy rates compared to hotel could be really great also for the winter. For the first year, you need to activate a property, take 2 to 3 months to have the first people and as the first full occupancy. And then for the winter, the first year, as we have seen, is the first year could be like 70–80% occupancy. And then if you boost a bit with the marketing, and then the next year with the word to mouth, then you have higher occupancy. We can see it now for the booking for October, November. We can see we are already at least at plus 30% of the turnover from last year.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I mean, yeah, as I said, like, thank you so much for this presentation. I personally, well, I'm too late for you anyway, but I still enjoyed a lot listening to you. And, you know, absolutely, we should link up. I do really find this quite a fascinating business. So I wish you all the luck in the execution. I'm sure you'll do fine. But yeah, I just sort of wanted to thank you there. That's all.
Thank you, Alice. Feel free to apply on the website if you want.
I actually can, you know, that's quite funny. I could technically, but we'll see. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, then I think if anyone has another question, now is the last 2 minutes to do so. Otherwise, I would like to invite you. Like you can like connect with each other on LinkedIn. You know, that would be. We always like when people connect after the event. You know, just to continue discussion or just to have a new connection. So this is also the point of this event. You know, to create connections. I will be sharing the contact list to all of you, so you have the details to each of you, and there is a recording too. So if you would like to share this recording to someone else in your network, you know, or if you want to watch it again or share it to someone, it will be on YouTube, and I will be also sharing the link in my email coming up tomorrow. So.
Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. And I hope to see you at some of my next events. I will be in touch for the future events. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Feel free to contact me, as Mathilde mentioned. I will be happy to talk with you and take more time on the next call.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.